Capital City Sunday.
In the race for Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District, both Republican incumbent Representative Derrick Van Orden and his Democratic challenger Cooke have been busy on the campaign trail with the election less than 2 weeks away. Both candidates attempting to cast themselves as political outsiders, aiming to represent working-class families, an effort to appeal to voters who feel Congress has been unproductive on the policy front. The 3rd Congressional District covers nearly 19 counties and a large demographic of rural voters. It's one of 2 competitive districts in southeast Wisconsin, along with the 1st Congressional District. Joining me on the show today is Wisconsin's candidate for the 3rd Congressional District, Cooke. Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Rebecca, the Cooke political report suggests that this is a Republican-leaning district. What is your messaging to those conservative and more moderate voters who may still be undecided ahead of this election?
Yeah, look, I think we need more working class voices in Congress. I have a background that's rooted in agriculture and running my own small business, and I'm waitressing while I'm running for Congress 7 days a week. I think we need people in DC not only that have backgrounds rooted in the working class, but also that are willing to work across the aisle. There's so many folks in DC that are either too far left or too far right, and they can't seem to work across the aisle to get anything done, and they're too beholden to their party. And when I'm a representative in Congress, will be working for all voters in the 3rd Congressional District.
Rebecca, your Republican challenger Derrick Van Orden has maintained a significant funding lead over you and your fellow Democrats who were also in the race earlier this year. The Federal Elections Commission reports you have now closed that gap, raising over $2.5 million in the latest quarter. Is this an indicator of how critical this race will be for the Democratic Party?
Absolutely. I think this is a top pickup opportunity. It's not only an opportunity to flip this seat, but also to win back the House majority. I think that the resources that we've raised are due in part to a lot of the support from regular people. Those are contributions of folks that are giving $50 to $100, thousands of people, in fact, that are motivated, I think, to invest in a campaign like mine, a campaign that, again, has a very working class tone to it, one that I think people see themselves reflected in.
Your opponent has run several campaign ads attacking your stance on law enforcement. He has made claims that you are in support of defunding the police. Where do you stand on the issues of law enforcement and public safety?
I absolutely want to make sure that our police departments across the 3rd and across the state have all the resources that they need. The statements that Derrick Van Orden are making is false. They're false statements. And I have an ad countering that with police officers from the 3rd Congressional District that are veterans in law enforcement that back my candidacy and know that I'm always going to make sure that our communities remain safe and secure, and that our law enforcement have the resources that they need in order to be able to do so.
Another important issue, the Farm Bill expired on September 30th. Proposals have stalled in the House, meaning that funding for Wisconsin farmers and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program would stop at the end of the year if Congress does not pass new legislation. If elected in November, what would be your policy approach to getting a bipartisan Farm Bill through Congress?
Far-right radicals in Congress have played partisan politics with the Farm Bill. This is the far-right section of Congress that Derrick Van Orden is a part of. He is a part of the House Ag Committee and had the power to get a Farm Bill passed. But it's very, very frustrating to see what Congress has done with policy that's very critical to folks here in Western Wisconsin. When I'm a member of Congress, I'm going to work across the aisle and work with both parties to ensure that we get a Farm Bill passed that, in addition to just being passed, also works to support small and mid-sized farms like the family farm that I grew up on, and that doesn't cater to big ag, that's put a lot of small farms and family farms throughout the 3rd Congressional District out of business. So it's not just getting a Farm Bill passed, it's also what is a part of the Farm Bill, and how do we protect our traditions and heritage and way of life here in Western Wisconsin.
Van Orden has accepted a debate invite from the Adams County Chamber of Commerce. You've argued that he has been ducking debates. Will Wisconsin voters have the opportunity to see you two debate ahead of November 5th?
I'm hopeful that we do have an opportunity. I think the days are dwindling as far as what that looks like for the availability between two campaigns and two people that are out in the third. I frankly have been doing, I think, an excellent job of really meeting voters where they're at. This is a 19-county congressional district, so we're getting out to lutefisk lunches, Oktoberfest, doing roundtables with veterans and small business owners. And so, my hope is that we have an opportunity to debate, but while we're figuring out the logistics of that, making sure that we're really present so that voters can see what kind of representative I will be, and that we're not just showing up in large communities, but also a lot of rural communities across the 3rd Congressional District.
And obviously, the election is right around the corner. Rebecca Cooke, Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District candidate. Rebecca, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.